Yep. Good morning, everyone. So, yesterday we learned about how to create a React application, and we discussed about React components. So, we learned about React components and how to design a component. What are the basic rules about component? We learned about these points. So, we are learning React 17. I told you that we have two versions of React. So 17 and 18. 18 is the latest. And how to create React application separately and how to use React in an existing project. These are the two basic points. And what we were learning earlier, how to use React in an existing application. To use React in existing application, we are creating components, and uh, you must use only properties. Not have void elements, and you must use only properties. These are the basic. So we discussed about how do we create. What's Yeah, is it clear to everyone online? So is it okay? Right. Yeah, fine. Yeah. So What we discussed yesterday, I will give a summary. So we learned creating component using functions, and we learned how to configure a component. So rules for function component. These are the two basic things we discuss. Now today we will learn one example using these components. One example we will see. So how to create a real world environment using React components. Let's see. This is our project. So React web application. If anyone missed the previous sessions, I will share a classroom link. You can go through the previous sessions where we uploaded the videos of previous sessions. If anyone missed the previous sessions, you can continue with that, right? You can check the previous videos. Okay. I will, at the end of the session, I will share the classroom code. So now this is the project, and in this project, so we learned how to use React application. What we done, we are not using CDN links. We are installing the libraries. We are linking them and using them. And here we created one component. What is that component? Login. And we are starting with that component. So React DOM is rendering that login component into this root element. So that is what virtual DOM is working. Now we will see one real world example using this approach, how to handle that. Let's see. So for example, suppose we are having a simple design. Let's say we have a design like some Netflix. Actually, Netflix is a React application. Netflix is designed with React. So some popular people using React, Amazon is using React, Netflix is using React, Facebook is using React, Instagram is using React. All these are built by using React. So we will see how we can build like this. So that means we will see one example today and we will try to create this one. Now in this is a React application, and how this React application is built. And it, as I told you, every React application is component based. And yesterday we saw how to create components. So can you spot the components here in this screen? How many components are there? How many components may be there in this screen? So I will explain here. Means entire Netflix have a lot of components actually. So I will explain the basic screen that you are currently watching here. What are the components here? So actually I will give you a layout so that we will try to design this layout. When you open Netflix, so when you open Netflix, the screen that you see, actually this is one component. So this is Netflix index component. This is Netflix index. That means every website when you open, you know, by default index will come. Index is the startup. It is the index. In that index, you have a background photo. That means there is a background image and a background some color, black transparent color is there. And on that index, actually, at the top you can see, means on that index. So in the index, it is having at the top, it is having, this is a header component. This is Netflix header. We have a Netflix header component. That means this part actually, this is the Netflix header component. That is the Netflix header component. In the header component, it is having left side banner, right side buttons, drop down that is present there. That is header component. After that, below this is actually Netflix main component. That is the Netflix main component. You know, in HTML you learned aside, article, dialogue, semantics. So this is the main component. Main is considered as startup, right? And in the main component, they are having title, subtitle, and they have another component that is register. They have another component that is register. This register component contains a simple email address and get started. And how you say that this is a component? Because if you have observed, so when I scroll down, that register component is again available at the bottom. So the same component is repeating means, that means it is a component which they are reusing. Every place they are using. So now we need to design this screen. We need to create that screen. So we have header and one more component here. And we have another component. This component is Netflix. This is Netflix which component? The main component. This is Netflix main component. Okay. In the Netflix main component, you have another component. In the Netflix main component, you have another component. What it is? So this is an register. This is Netflix register component. Netflix register component. So this is the components hierarchy we are having. So we need to design this environment. Let's see how to do that. I am showing this from scratch again. So people who missed out how to create a project, so they can check one more time. They can see. So I am explaining the process one more time. So what we will do, we will create a new project. In that project, we will try to create the Netflix screen using React by using all the React libraries, right? Let's see the process. People who missed out how to create an application with React, so they can check once, because I am again explaining the process here. So let's see first. So now what we have to do is, that means I am showing you a Netflix React application. Netflix design we will do. So first step, you create a separate folder for this project. That means what you have to do. So create a new folder for project. And in any location in your computer. So I will create here Netflix React app. That is the folder for project. This is the first thing we are doing. So I am creating a new project so that anybody missed out how to create a project, so they can check once, right? So first I will open any location in my drive. Already you know what to install, right? You need Node.js, you need VS Code, and you need some extensions. So in D drive, in my computer anywhere, I am creating a new folder by name Netflix React app. I am creating a Netflix React app. Okay, so this is the folder that we created, right? Once it is created, now open project folder in VS Code. VS Code is our editor, Visual Studio Code. We already installed this Visual Studio Code. Open that in VS Code. File, open folder, and it is in D drive, Netflix React app. That is the folder, and this folder is currently empty. Now in this folder, first to set up as a web application, you need, so add package.json. How to add package.json? You have to run the command npm init y. This is going to generate a package.json file. And you know web application needs a package.json which maintains the metadata. All the project related configurations, project related libraries, everything we configure here. And it is a web configuration file generally in every web application. Already we know that. So package.json, and these are the files. Okay, I will open the terminal. In the terminal, we need to run the command npm init y. This is going to generate package.json. That's going to generate package.json. After that, so what you have to do is install following libraries. In order to use React, what are the libraries you have to install? Already we learned. How many libraries are required? 3 basic libraries are required. What are those? npm install React, and React DOM, and Babel standalone. These are the libraries. Standalone. All you can write in one line, right? So, and save. You can install one by one after another. npm install React, npm install React DOM, npm install Babel standalone. Or all you can write in one line, it will install one by one all of them, right? So you can install all these. What is React? It is the core library. What is React DOM? It is the virtual DOM library. What is Babel? Compiler. That is the compiler required for React application. So you have to do that. One more, we will do one more is, because we are trying to design Netflix like screen, those colors, fonts, effects, everything will come from Bootstrap. So we will use Bootstrap. So npm install Bootstrap, and Bootstrap icons, and save. Bootstrap and Bootstrap icons are popularly used for designing interfaces. Later, you will use Similar to Bootstrap, React have its own library called React Material. We will see that React Material also. But React Material, in order to use it, you must first perfectly know React. Then you can use that React Material. So currently, we will use Bootstrap in designing the interface. So Bootstrap provides all the CSS and JavaScript for creating good interface classes. Okay, so let's set up all these things. These are enough now. So npm, I'm setting up here npm install react dom and at the net babel standalone. So bootstrap and the bootstrap icons and save. All these libraries I am installing here. So all these libraries we are installing and setting. So everything is ready. And all the libraries are kept in node modules. All the library files are copied into this node modules. Into the node modules, all the library files are copied. Here everything is copied. So these all libraries are ready. So here library files are kept in a node underscore modules folder. They are kept in this folder. Okay, next, according to the project tradition, so you need two folders. So add following folders into project. One is public, another one is SRC. You have to add two folders, public and SRC. We know public is used for static resources and SRC is used for dynamic resource. Remember, we are not building a React application. We are using React in a general web application. Because when you create a separate React application environment setup, everything will be different. I will show you that in the next level. First, if you know how basic React works, then you can understand the application. So two folders are required. Public is for static resources and SRC is for dynamic resources. So dynamic resources are kept here. Static resources means so HTML, text documents, images, PDF, videos, all this. Dynamic resources means CSS, SCSS, JavaScript, TypeScript, JSX, TSX, all these things. We keep everything inside this source. So this is the folders we have to set up in the project. Now, we will first here set up this environment here. We are adding now, this is the library already set up. We are adding two folders. One is public and another folder is SRC. This is the basic environment here. Now, every application starts with index.html. So what you have to do, add index.html into public folder. That is the startup page. Now in our React application, the application starts with index.html. So it should start with index.html. So let's put a index page, index.html. I'm adding in public folder. In index.html, here directly we want to use React. That means we want to directly React here. So if you want to use React here, I will create here Netflix, and to use React in this page, what are the files you need to link? First, you need the script. You need to link React development.js, React development, React DOM development, another one Babel. 3 files you have to link. And I told you module system also important. Which module system Node.js is using? UMD module system. So what you have to do, script source. So it is in dot slash. It is in node modules. In node modules, we have React. In the React, we have UMD. In React development.js. That is the first file you have to link. When you are linking CSS files, there is no order dependency. But for JavaScript files, we have order dependency. So you have to link files in order. Second, next one, script. Script source, it is node modules. We have React DOM. In that again UMD, React DOM development.js. Okay. We need another one. What is it? Source, and this is node modules at the net Babel, at the net Babel standalone babel.js. This is file. Now your project is ready with React. That means your index page is using React. Now in this we need a no script. In the no script we are writing, please enable JavaScript on your browser. Because if JavaScript is not enabled, then React cannot work. Sometimes JavaScript may be disabled in browser. You know, JavaScript, cookies, plugins, all those are disabled in browsers. If they are disabled in browser, you cannot use them. So what is no script? No script is a HTML element that verifies whether JavaScript is working or not, right? If JavaScript is not working, this message will come on screen. If it is working, this will not display. Okay. Another, we need a div. The div ID is what? Root. Any ID you can give. And this is the location where React is going to render everything. That means React related all components will render inside this root. So it is used as a root for React. Actually, root for React, root for HTML is body, but React will take control from this div, Okay. Now, how we have to create? One more important is actually in this body, we just designed the body section and all. In this body, we want to use the basic all bootstrap concepts, means bootstrap CSS and icons. Then you know, to use bootstrap, you have to link relation is equal to style sheet href. So node modules, bootstrap icons font bootstrap icons.css. It will give you icons. Bootstrap have an icon library. You can use icons from there. Another link relation is equal to style sheet, href, node modules, bootstrap, dist, css, bootstrap.css. These are the core libraries that are required for bootstrap styles. For bootstrap styles, in order to use them, you need these two. One is bootstrap icons, another one is bootstrap. Okay, everything is ready. Once everything is ready, we will write a script. This script after Babel. This script should be compiled by Babel compiler. So its type must be text/Babel. That should be by Babel compiler. Now you have to create your components. You need to design your components. As I told you, every component is a function that returns some markup. So according to our Netflix design, how many components you need? Index, header, main and register. 4 components we need. Okay, let's do that. That means here I am writing a function. First, Netflix index. That is one function. And it should return one fragment. That means in a parenthesis, we will just keep a div. So we will keep a div. That is one fragment it is going to return. This is the div we are using. So that means this is a component. It's a function. And component function must return some markup. And entire markup is returned in the form of container. That means in one fragment you have to do. So later more detail about fragments I will tell you. Here initially in this we are expecting index. Okay. Temporarily for your understanding, I will just keep a heading. This heading will display a message saying that this is Netflix what index. Now I need to render this index into this root. Currently, let's run this page. Now the page is empty. Page is empty. So page is not having anything. Page is empty currently. Nothing is there. Now, which component it should render first? Netflix component it should render. Where it should render? Inside the root. So what we have to do? We have to write a method react dom dot what render. Render which component? Component is accessed like a element. Which component? Netflix index. As we discussed, every component, every element requires start and end. Or you can use self-ending. You can use self-ending. We discussed self-ending. Where this component should be rendered. Document dot get element by ID. It should be rendered in root. Okay. Now it is done. React is going to render that Netflix index there. It is going to render the Netflix index there. This is the original size actually. So it is going to render the Netflix index. But Netflix index is the component which is starting with. In this Netflix index heading I don't want. What Netflix index is having? It is having a background photo. It is having a background image. You see, Netflix index. This is Netflix index is having a background photo. So, and that photo is not dominating. So we will apply some CSS techniques on that. So here we want a background photo inside this div. For the div, how you will put a background photo? For this div, we need to put a background photo. Remember, as of now, I am showing everything in one file, one index. Later we will separate. Every component comes from a file. Its CSS comes from a file. Separately we can maintain that. I will show that process. Initially, how this div can put a background photo? You have to apply through styles. So let's do one thing. Let's go to public folder, and in this we will put a background image. In this public folder we have to put some background image. So you can copy from online any Netflix banners or anything, you can do that. Already I have, or I will show you here. What you do is you just Google here images Netflix background. You see Netflix background banner will be like this. I will select some banner like this, and this is the Netflix banner we are having. Let's save this Netflix page, banner page. Is it clear enough? Still, it's a huge file actually. So if it is clear, we can save that. Okay, so I will right click and save image as, and it is a Netflix banner. Actually, I already have that. Copy, and we will put in our project where we in D drive we have the project Netflix React app. In that which folder? Public. We are copying here Netflix banner. Okay, I am saving that. I saved a Netflix banner image and it is present in our public. We want to use this for this div, and in that case I will keep as a class. I will add a class, and we already discussed that components cannot use class, so they have to use what? Class name. Class name is equal to some class name. Class name I will give as a BG image. That is the class name. Now where do you write this? BG image. We will write a style. In the style we will put the class dot BG image, and it should have a background image. Background image URL. It is Netflix banner dot JPG. That means now it should set up a Netflix background here. You see there is a Netflix background, but body height, everything we need to adjust, because actually we just have a heading. Actually we don't need this heading. It's an empty background. It is not visible because we need to set up the height. So that height should be 100 VH. That is viewport height. That means the screen height will be set. And the background image should not dominate. We will put background image styles. Background size as cover. That means it will fit that background image. And we don't want the background image to dominate. Then what we will do is, inside this class, we will keep another div. We are keeping another div inside this. This is Netflix index we are designing. In this div, we will put another class name, that is some BG shade. That is the background shade. Okay, what this background shade should do is dot BG shade. This background shade should be height same 100 VH, and it should have a background color. Background color RGBA, red, green, blue, alpha. 000 will put a black color. That black color is dominating. We will make it transparent, 0 point some 7 or 6. It will be in this way. Now we have a background image perfectly set. That means we have a background image and we are not making the background image dominant. We are adding some style. So more transparent, you can give 0.5. A little bit more transparent will come. Right? You can increase 0.3 or 4. That means it will increase the transparency. So 0.2, then means more transparent will come. We will keep it to 0.6. That looks better. Dark. That's enough. So we need a background. This is actually Netflix index. Okay. Now comes important. So you designed the index ready. Inside index, you need a component header. Inside index, you need a header component. So we have to create another component. How to create another component? So you have to create another component. So then we will write another function. What is the function? Netflix header. And what this Netflix header have to return? It component have to return a header. I am just giving a header. Close header. You know HTML have a header element. Header is a HTML semantic element. Okay. In this header, what you want? In this header, I want two containers. One div. This is one container. And I want another container. Two containers I want. Two containers we are having. In the left container, we will put a span, and in this span we will use the word Netflix. This is in one container. What about the second one? In this container, we need to keep a drop down and a button, sign in like button. So we will create a simple container div. So later we can add bootstrap drop downs and all. As of now, here we are creating a select. You know, drop down is designed using select. So select we are having. And in the select, we will keep an option. Option. Okay. And what is the option? Option is having like a language. And here we will put a span. Actually, it should use an icon. Class name is BI translate. Translate is an icon. You know, bootstrap icons. So that is translate icon. Okay. Now header is ready, but styles effects we have to give for that header. Still it is not enough. So in the language actually it will have option like option like English, like that. Just roughly I add. Usually this header is ready, and you see I can't see that header in my page. That means this is which component currently you are watching? Netflix index. In this index component we want header. So go to index component. Where you want header? We want header here. That means in the shade we can access Netflix header and put it here. That means that header component will render here. That means reusability. You are just designing a component separately and you are accessing. That means now see, header component will be there. Language and everything is there. But still appearance is not good, because header we have to design a. Let's go how you design header. So header we will put here class name. Header should use dflex, means display flex. Justify content space between. Justify content between a. Justify content between. That means it will be like this. One left, another right. We will use padding 4. 4 padding P4. It will give some instead of between, around, around. Justify content around. It will have some gap. Okay, still it is not visible because we need to add more effects here now. What is this span? Means actually after this select, so you need one more option here. After the select, so you need another option. What is it? Button. What is the button? Button we will put as a sign in. Sign in. And what is the class name for button? So BTN and BTN danger. That is the button class. That means it will apply like this. So we will add effects. We will give the effects and we will add the effects. Actually, what should be the class for drop down? It should have form select. Form select is the effect for drop down. So it will have a drop down like this. Another one, both should display side by side. That means here we will put here BI translate is there, and here we will give as text white. That means we are using this as class name is equal to input group. We will use input group. All will be like this. Input group text. That means it will make that appear like this. Then I don't need text white. If I give input group text, then it will display in this way. And we want some gap between sign in and log. But some gap will come. So we are having class name here. And what is the class name for this? So name, brand title.
आगे चला भी आया लोग मत अरे हट करवा के लाता है गाय का वो
Brand
घर में नहीं करता है करवा
title is brand title. That means we need to add the styles. What is the style
और लीजिए ना काहे
title? So font size we will give some as red, and font family we will keep as some Arial, and font weight we will keep as bold. Then you will see this is the Netflix we have. So we can use the options like this is header. Header is displaying space around space evenly. We can keep space evenly, or we can give space between. It will keep like that. Depends how you want to display. This is the header. That means we have a header ready. Now we have the top, background, index, and header. Okay. Next, according to the design, let's see. So header is ready. Below header, what should come? Main. Below the header, main should come. So we need to design another component. Header is finished, and we are rendering the header here. Below the header, we need a main component. So we will create a function. And what is it? Netflix main. And what it should render? It should return a simple main area. You know, so HTML have a main section also, right? Now in this main area, what you want to display? So in the main area, I want to display this line, unlimited TV shows, and this one. I will copy that and I will keep this. I will keep this here. And this I will give as a div. And okay, this I will give as another div. So we are keeping two divs. Okay. We will put two classes. Class name, this is main title, and this is having class name main subtitle. We have two options there. Now main is ready, but main is not visible here. Where to keep the main? Below the header. That means in index, let's go to index. Below the header, we want which area? We want Netflix main. Netflix main area. We have to render that. Below the header, we have main. That means you see, actually, main area content is coming here. But we need to keep the main area ready. So let's design the main area. We will put a class is text white. That means it will keep white. We will keep text center. It will be center. Right? And now we need here. So this main area, we will write the styles. Here we will write the styles. What is it? We will write main. So margin top. Margin top, some 200 pixel. That means it will shift the main here. I will keep margin top as so 150 pixel. That will be fine. Now what we will do is we have main title. Main title font size. Font size as 40 pixel. Font family as Arial, and font weight as bold. Like this we have title. So we want some 80. the size is large. That means we are adding the size large. So I don't want 80, so let's keep it 60 like this we have. It depends on how much you want to control. And title, suppose it is having, so options, another one. What is this? Main, what it is? Subtitle. Subtitle, font size as suppose 30 pixels. Same font family as Arial, and margin top as some 20 pixel. It will have some gap. Like this we are adding. So that is the header and the main. Now actually inside this main area we need registration. Inside the main area we need registration. That means you see here now I will make the main margin top 100. Then it will be like this. Below this we want registration. And where should be the registration? Registration should be, let's see here, the registration should be inside main. Inside the main, register should come. So we need to design a register component and it should be inside the main. Okay, let's create a register component now. So we will create a register component here. Functions, there is no order dependency. Anywhere, any function you can create and call, doesn't matter, right? Suitable order I am creating here, just function. What is it? Netflix register. Okay, what should be the output? It should return a simple form. Okay, it should return a form. So we are designing a form. Okay, you know form elements. So in this actually it is having a paragraph at the top. And what that paragraph tells. So the paragraph have a small sentence like ready to watch, right? And this is what we want to display, ready to watch. And below that we have another div, and this div is having so input type as email, and you know that every element requires an end token. That is compulsory. Yesterday we discussed that rule. And placeholder, placeholder, placeholder is equal to your email address and a class name as form control we are using. Beside it, we need a button. And what is the button text? Actually, button text have get started, and it have a icon span. The span is class name bi chevron right. Chevron right is the symbol it is having. And button have a class name btn and btn danger. And these two should be combined. We will put a class name input group. Input group. If you want some gap, so here margin left, so 2, some gap will come. Okay, now Netflix register is ready, but that Netflix register is not here. Where to put Netflix register? So below this main. Okay, below, inside the main, am I right? Inside the main, inside the main, after this title, we will access Netflix register and put it here. And Netflix register will come there and display. Its width height is not defined. we need to keep the width and height for that. That means what this Netflix register, suppose I kept this Netflix register in a div, or there itself we can design it. Netflix register is like this. And what we will do here is, in the Netflix register, we will adjust the width and height of this form. That means what we will do is, for this class name, we will give some P4, suppose PS4. That means it will give left, and PE4. That means padding and 4. It is having like this, but width should be adjusted now. That means we have to give M4, MS4, margin left 4. Another one is margin and 4. I think still it is not enough. So we will put more size. In the style, we will access the form, okay? Because it's just a form. In the form, what we will do? Actually, for form width, I given 600 pixel. Then it will fit like this. We can keep center and anywhere you want, or we can give just form, margin left some 300 pixel. That means it will be 300. Let's remove this one then. Where is the form? These classes we will remove. We will manually apply them, okay? We will manually apply. So margin left and margin right as 300 pixel. That means it will just keep like this. So we can just set it to 400. It will fit like this. So now what we have to do is, you can add, actually it is a input group. So you can write as input group LG. LG is large. That means it will increase the size. Now that is how we are configuring. You can adjust the width and height according to your requirement. Suppose it is 350 and 350. That looks enough for the size. We can put like this. And we want to adjust from top. That means we will give margin top as 20 pixel. So from top it will be down. Now this is the design that we created by using React. Means it is completely using components. Every React application is built like this. Now what is the specialty here is, for example, I want this registration form one more time. If you want the registration form one more time, so see here, if you want the registration form one more time, you just access Netflix register again. Then you can see that another duplicate will come. That means you can use anywhere, any number of times. That is the concept of reusability. So easy to reuse the components. That is how we can create. So I will remove that, and you can see that is only one. So this is the component related hierarchies, right? So how we can create the components and work with them. And hierarchy is, now how many components are rendering into the root? Only one. And what is that component that is rendering? Index. Inside index, you have a header, main, and inside main you have a register. That means this is the hierarchy actually we designed. Index is create, inside index you have an header and main. Inside main, register. So a component based environment is like
देख
this.
के कैसे हम सीख
So
पाएंगे?
you see any website, suppose Instagram, suppose this is Instagram. Instagram is also designed with React.
10 साल के
It's
बाद मेरे
React
पास
app.
रहेगा खाली deposit का
Instagram,
भंडार।
Amazon, all these are React apps,
समझे?
right? So you see this
और 30
is
साल के एज
also
में निकालेंगे
component
सब
based.
पैसा और घूमे चल जाएंगे।
That means here they have left side some ban component,
ले ले अपना
right
डोरेमोन
side
आधा आधा
login component,
ले।
at the bottom footer component. If you see Amazon, Amazon is also a React app,
ना देगा वो।
and this Amazon React app is very complex. So it is having header component, section component, it is having cards. You know, these are cards. These are all cards components. That means you can create an application in this way. You can design an application in this way. But this is very complex. In the beginning level, if you can create this, this is good, right? So what you have seen, how to set up environment, how to create a new project, how to add everything related to React. But this is not React 18. Currently we are using React 17. That is currently 17. In React 18, the libraries changed. In the React 18, the approach of rendering virtual DOM has changed. They made some changes. Now we will learn how to do the same with React 18 application. For that, how to create a React 18 application, how to use the React 18 application, we will see step by step. So this entire code I will copy. This is the code of which page? Index. So in index page, we will keep everything. This is the index page which is having all the code. That means complete Netflix we have designed, interface we designed by using this. In reality, when you see the index page, you will see that index page will not have links of all these files, CSS files, everything. We maintain all of them in separate files and we can make them work for this page. So actually, real world React applications, they use a separate tool called bundler. So they use a tool called bundler. That means we use bundlers. We have very popular bundlers like Webpack. We have so bundler like Parcel. Parcel is a bundler. We have bundlers like White. By using these tools, we design React application. Later you are going to see that. There what you will see is your index page is using some CSS. It is using some scripts, but they are not linked there. That means without linking a CSS file, you can make HTML page to use that CSS file. Without linking a script file, you can make the script file work for that page. So that is possible through these bundlers. Usually these bundlers are used everywhere for developing web application. So we are going to learn about them and we will see how to build applications later. But first, you should able to try this. I hope you are clear. So I showed today from scratch again. That means creating an application, set up libraries, add the libraries and design a application using components. How many components we have? 4. Index component, main component, register component, another one header component. These we created and we are rendering into the DOM, right? So this is enough for today. First you have to try this. This entire example I will upload into Classroom, right? You can get the example from the Classroom. Once you are done, now tomorrow we are going to learn how to create a React application using 18 latest. That means we are going to see the latest React. We will learn 18 only. While learning 18, we will see differences between 17 and 18. What are the differences? I will show you. So tomorrow we will design the same by using React 18, so that you will get idea of two versions. Why I am showing two versions? Because latest is 18, but companies are still maybe using 17. That's the reason you should have an idea of both of them. Then tomorrow we will continue, right? And if anyone is not having the Classroom code, this is our Google Classroom code. You can get the notes from this Classroom code. This is the Google Class code. Syllabus and everything we will upload here. This is not for Java full stack people. This is individually React and for web UI with React people, right? So this is the code. Here we will upload the videos of previous and the notes. Tomorrow we will continue. Okay.